Hello. Hello. Bum. Ba 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 bum 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 ba bum bum. Pum. Hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Yeah. Hello. Oh, we have a picture of the day with some gifts. We like gifts. So many. This item is still in the game, by the way. Very nice. Oh, it was also snowing. It was. How are you today, guys? So today, I mean, I still have to finish the stuff that we started yesterday, but this thing. But I will not work on it today, or maybe I will work a bit later. But today I want to plant seeds together. Because one of our players, Brazildren, said that he wants to help in planting some seeds, and so if we can, we will plant them together. Let's see. One thing I need to test first, though, is is this. I think I did something. Wait, let me switch the music so we are good. I think at the moment. By the way, guys, the rider license is expiring, so I asked for an extension to JetBrains. Let's see. Crossing fingers. So I just have to check. Okay, it's available, so I will just call you and let me just lower the music even a bit more. Okay, let's see if the audio works. I just have to fix this input. Okay. Well. Can you hear me? You have your you are muted, I think. I see a symbol that says that you have no audio or whatever. I cannot hear you. Your icon as a no microphone symbol. Like if your microphone is muted. But anyway, meanwhile you set up your stuff. I want to check something. So I want to check something. Yeah, I think I want to change this pretty much. I think I don't want to have this else, right? Or let's say I want to have both. So I want to have the main resource and I want to have the sub resource. I still cannot hear you, my friend. Hello, Dotted Fish. Microphone is not working. Okay. Yes, no urgency. I mean, I still have to compile this, so So I will, yeah, because I think that the problem at the moment is that when you have a sub resource, the main resource is not displayed, and I think it is very confusing because you don't know. Yeah, so I think we should recompile it this way. I will also check it in this way, but before checking it in, I think we can do a test. I think I can do a test. Wait, let me do it with a dummy database though. I think I want the dummy database. We are repopulating. Okay, it's good. We are in the dummy database with just the basic resources, so I think it's fine. And Dotted Fish is immediately gambling 1,400. Let's go. And you are winning, huh? You're nearly at 5,000. So now you have to decide your strategy. Is your strategy all in all the time, or you're gonna balance your money? Okay. So now in theory we should see the main resource and the sub-resources, okay? I don't remember where was that. It was probably around here. I don't understand why I get that error all the time. Okay. I don't remember. They were not here, right? They were in another place, but I don't remember where. No, I don't remember where we had the. I don't remember. Anyway, if your microphone doesn't work, I can still explain you, right? I can explain you in game, so it's not required. I mean, it's more that, I mean, I can explain you by voice, and you can, even if you don't speak, is okay. I mean, I can just tell you what to do, and I think would be fine. But yeah, if you have any question, you can type it in text. I think would be okay. But let me just test this thing. So where are those resources? We can speak in game. Sorry, I'm a bit lost at the moment. Natural resource and natural resource items, right? So natural resource, we placed, okay, these items. Yes, exactly. So this is the location, okay. Oh wow, all uppercase. Okay, 1 second, I'm just setting up a few things. I want to see if this works now. 1, 2, 3. These 3 are all sub ID. They are sub ID of what? Of this? Maybe of this. No. This is call. So for sure. So these are a sub ID of group ID 1. Group ID 1. It's probably in completely another place. Fuck it. Yeah, because I just copied the. Okay. Okay, so that's not probably the best example, but let's put it here. Let's put it here. So at least the example is fully working. Let's put it here. 197,475. 197,475 and minus 316,794. Minus 316,794. Minus 316,794 and 10,5%. 10,567. Can we reload the resources or not? We can reload the locations, but I don't think it's reloading. Okay, let's just restart it quickly. Okay, so if this works, which I hope it does, what I can do, I can just check in this and we can recompile the server a second. You can hear me fine, good. I mean, you can hear me from the stream or you can hear me live, but it's better if you hear me live, I guess, because so we can just interact in real time, because the stream is delayed 20 seconds. And 20 seconds can be annoying already, right? Yes. Okay. So we will do display of main and the sub resources at the same time. Now I hope this works because I never tested it, but hopefully it will. If it does, we can then start our thingy. Yes, it does. Okay, fantastic. So this one will be flagged like this, and this one will be flagged. Yeah, I think like this is much better. Okay, fantastic. We can do it. Now, the only problem is that I have to recompile. So let me ask you a few questions. So with us, we also have Resildren. That is a long time player of Plane Shift. I think he also been a GM for some time, and yeah, so maybe some of you will know him, and he would like to help in planting seeds. So we'll try to plant seeds together, and the only thing is that I need to do this. It's conflicting on what? It's conflicting on server config. Okay, so this one we postpone, so we don't care about it. Okay. Let me just check one thing, because the script is running what? The script is running installation path. Yeah, but I have to recompile it, anyway. Yeah, I have to recompile it. There's no way. Okay, I'm just recompiling quickly the server so that we can use the new thing. Meanwhile, I can explain you, okay? I can explain you how it works. If you are connected to the server at the moment, don't worry, because I have to restart it, so just ignore the server for a second. But basically the way it works is that we have a command, right? The command is /resource. Let me ask you, did you use it before? I mean, did you add any resource, or did you do any test on the server up to now? And maybe you can you type on Twitch so that also other people see your answers, or no? Are you logged in on Twitch? Because they cannot hear you, but at least they can read what you say. I just want to know if you created any resources, because we have to take some decisions. We have to make some decisions here. Okay, it's compiling, cooking, doing, bling bling bling. So we will connect to the main server. Not created? Okay, good. So I don't have to refresh the data. Better. It's better you didn't create anything because I want to start from what we have. Okay, so just to explain, and again, if you can type in, can you type in Twitch instead of Discord, so that also other people can see what you type. If you have a Twitch account or a YouTube account, is the same. YouTube is good as well. If you connect to the stream. Huh? Yes, no, maybe? Hello, Mr. B Fantastic. Hey, thank you for the follow and welcome, welcome. Eliseth. Okay, okay. I'm happy you managed to get in the game again. But okay, if you can answer, if you can listen to me, basically we have this command, right? This command is called /resource, and you have access to it because I made your, I bumped your account, right? So he has different sub commands. But the main one that we need are basically 4 commands, and maybe I can explain them so I can then give you a kind of a cheat sheet. Okay, so the commands are resource display and resource hide. Okay. So resource display is obviously showing shows all the resource location. What the hell? Show all the resource location. I don't know if it does it only the current sector or all sectors, but pretty much show all the resources with a special kind of circle, right? Circle thingy. While the hide obviously is hiding all the resources, right? The important point is that it shows also the ones that are not spawned at the moment. So what it means? It means that we have like we decided, right? We decided that we have a spot. Maybe I still have the picture. Yeah. We decided that we have a series of locations and maybe only 2 locations are active at a given time. Right? So in theory, the player will see, for example, flowers in this spot and in this spot. Right? And the other spots that are white spots, you will see nothing. So the flower is not visible. But when he goes and he harvests this flower, right, after a certain amount of seconds, the game is choosing randomly another location and is spawning it in the new location, right? And these are all predetermined locations, okay? So with the resource display, you are able to see the red and the white. So you see the ones that are currently spawned, but also the location that will be used as spawn in the future, right? And obviously you can do it only as a developer, right? So that is available only to us, right? Okay, so the first thing that you have to do pretty much on the server is to do resource display. So you see what we are working with. Now the server is nearly done. It's taking a bit of time, but it's nearly done. And as soon as it's done, I can start. Okay, it's done now. Fantastic. Let me see if I have a server running already, because I think it is running. Okay, I will just stop the server brutally. And yes, I moved everything to our test server, right? So at the moment we can connect to the test server and go from there. Okay? Can you see me now? Yes, I can. I can see you, yes. I can see your text. Good, good. Yeah, so it's a bit easier because I speak with you and at least, you know, the chat can see your answers. Otherwise, it becomes harder for them to understand what you are asking. Yes, I can see you. Okay, good. So the server is going up, is starting up. And I think I can stop mine because anyway it's not needed, and I will reconnect to the, so you can, as soon as the server is up, you can connect, right? Okay, then we have two important other commands, right? We have resource, at the moment we cannot delete, so I can only delete from database, unfortunately, because I didn't create the delete, but fine. So we have resource add and resource add sub, and maybe I can just copy the syntax from here. Yeah, exactly. Can I paste without, no, that would have been too nice, huh? Without formatting. Okay, then we have resource add, and we have resource add sub. And I will explain you in a second what they do. Add sub. I mean, it is easy, but it's not super easy, so... Unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of a dev tool, right? So it's not meant to be used by players. Okay, so let me see if the server is up, and we can do a test. Yeah, the server is up. So if you reconnect now to the, you have to select the test server, right? And you can use your normal account, because I ported the whole database, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So I don't know where we will start. I have no idea where we will start. We will decide where to start. But for now, I will bring you here. Okay, so now I teleported you to me. Hello? Hello? Okay. And yeah, you will see the stream obviously 20 seconds delayed, right? So it will take a bit. Okay, hello, hello. So for example, I don't know if we have any resources here. Okay, let's start with the basics. Okay, so the first thing I need to tell you is that resources are divided in two types. Okay, the main resource, which is kind of a placeholder, which is this one, which is the first, the resource add. So the resource add is adding is identifying an area where we want to have resources, okay? And this one should be extending only in one sector. So for example, if we have, let's say that we have, this is the Hydla sector, and it is Oja Road 1, right? Right, so it is Hydla Plaza and it is Oja Road 1, right? These are two separate sectors, and you know it because when you do /pause, right, you see, when you do /pause, you see the sector, right? You see sector Hydla Plaza, for example, right here, here in the bottom, right? So one resource location can be only inside a sector. So we cannot do something like this, okay? At the moment it's not possible, it's too complex, I don't want to do it. So we should not put resources cross a sector, okay? But our sector are very big, so I think there should be zero problem, right? You should just check that you are not crossing sectors. But apart from that, we are good. So it is not possible, right? So in this case, we will create, let's say, a resource in this area, and then another resource in this area. If you really want the same plant, we create the resource of the same plant, right? Now, we cannot design the border, right? But we would like to place, let's say, the source, so the placeholder, let's say there is a kind of a placeholder, right? Pretty close where we have the other resources. In reality, it's not really needed, so you can even place, you know, the placeholder here, and then you can put your other resource, your sub resources here. You can do it, right? But just in terms of, you know, logic and organization, I think we decide, I don't know, that let's say that this area, let's say, let's consider this area, right? We consider this area will be one flower, and so we put our main resource here in the middle, and then our placeholder in the middle, and then we place all the sub resources all around, right? That is because the main resource is used by the engine to know that there are sub resources in that area, right? So it's kind of a father resource, if you want, right? The father resource, when the child exists, is not spawning anything, right? So the first thing that we do resource display. So if you can do resource display as well your side, right? And at the moment there are 0 resources here, right? The other thing that I have to tell you is that display resource is basically reading what is in the database at a given time. So if you create one more resource, you have to hide and display again, okay? So maybe you create a few and then you hide and display. Or if I create and you create, we have to hide and display. Now hide and display is only on your client. So if you do display, I don't see what you see, right? So it's only for you. So this is why we have to do both display, resource display, okay? Then, for example, we want to say, oh, in this area, I want to create a placeholder. So I will do resource add, and then you can check the command. If you type just /resource, it's telling you all the sub commands, right? So we can say resource add, and for example, let's take any plant. Let's take the saffron, right? Okay, saffron, right? Resource add saffron because it's the item name. Then you have to say how many active locations you want. So active location means, going back to the picture, active location means that if you have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Here we have 8 locations. You want active 2 locations out of 8. Okay, so you tell to the server that you want to create a new resource that has 2 active location out of how many there will be. It doesn't care how many. You can create 100, right? Obviously, if you have less than 2, you create only 1, they will produce an error later on when we restart the server, right? So for example, we say, yeah, we want 2 locations, or let's say 1 location active at a time, right? Let's say 1 location active. And then you say the amount, which is the amount of harvesting, right? So maybe I can say active location amount. Okay, so active location is how many are spawning, and so visible, right? Out of the total. And this one is how many times you can harvest before the resource disappears. Okay, now all this stuff we can change it later on, so you should, I think you can, if you want, you can also just say 1 right? Because anyway we will probably go through all the resources and change them all later on with just a mass change, because when I have them in the database I can do all the changes I want. So this is not super important. If you want, you can say 1. I would say it's probably even a better idea that we do 1 now, so that we don't bother with this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just put 1 so that we don't care. And I will change them later massively, right? So for example, we say all the saffron is 4 times whatever, right? So this will be the command, right? /resource add saffron 1. So when I do this, assuming that the server doesn't crash, a new resource will be created in this location, and it's telling you created natural resource 329, right, in a specific coordinates. Now, unfortunately, the only way to see it, because I didn't do it too smart, you have to hide, and then you have to display, right? You can put it in a shortcut, so you have 2 buttons, right? Just maybe wait a second or 2 seconds before the 2 commands, so that, right? So if you do display now on your side, if you do /resource display, you will see this one that is now created. Let me know if you see it. And you see it only if you hide and display on your side. Let me know if you see it. Yeah, there's a bit of delay between what I show and what you hear, but do you see this circle? Hello? Not yet. Did you type? The visualization is instant. Huh? So as soon as you type display, it should show up. What I see and what you see is different, because this functionality works only for one client. So you have to type /resource display. And if you already displayed, then you have to hide and display. If you are confused about anything, just ask. Now, if you had a microphone, it would have been so much easier. But unfortunately, you don't have a microphone. Okay. Okay, so now these things are just fake placeholder. I mean, they don't exist in the game, right? So no one sees it. Just me and you. Just you see it. But if you right click on the border, you have to right click here on the border. On the chat, you will get some important information. Right? You get natural rests 329, and 329 is the unique ID, and then the name of the plant, saffron. Okay. So this is the format for the placeholder resource. So now that we decided that in this area we want to distribute plants, right? There is not a limited range. The limited range is just the sector. So we have to stay within the sector. So as soon as we place the first, we can check the sector with /pause and we see, okay, we are in Idla Plaza, right? So now we can go in any location we want. Let's say that we go, I don't know, here, right? We go here and we say, now I want to create a real resource, a child resource, right? One of the many that we spawn. So the placeholder is needed because it's like the father, right? It's like the container. Let's call it the container, right? So to create a container, we have to note down this number 329. So you have to write down somewhere 329, right? Or you just see it in the chat. But if you close the client, I mean, you will not remember. So 329, or you go there and click it, right? If you click it, you see the number. And then adding the child is super easy because you do just resource, add, and then you put the number of the father resource, right? So 329. Now this one, I should do it or you should do it. If we do it both, right, we will create two resources. So maybe let's do it. Let's do two of them. Okay, so I go here and maybe you go a bit at the back. I don't know, go next to the pillar or to the wall. Just go, yeah, go there. That is okay. Now, there is one point though that is important that I tell you. So the resources are displayed as a mesh, like as a group of flowers. So for example, the position where you are now, where you are on top of a slope, is not really the best place because the resource is displayed horizontally. So imagine a plate, right? Imagine a pizza. So the pizza will be half in the slope and half outside, right? So I think that at least for now, we should place the resources not on slopes, if possible. If you want to be close to a slope, you can. For example, I don't know, you can be. I think like here is okay, right? Because only a part of the flower will be covered, right? But if you are really on a very steep slope, I think that's a bad place. Okay, so you are there and I'm here. So now we do the same command, right? We do resource add 329. So just type the same thing, resource add 329, and you execute it, right? Ah, sorry. No. Sorry, my bad. Resource add sub 329 is another command. Is not, sorry, I messed up. So is resource add sub, because we want to add a child. Sub is for child, 329, right? And we execute it. So at this point, you will create a resource, I will create the resource. Okay, because I did it and you did it. And now we just hide and display, right? I think it's better if you put it on a shortcut, probably. Would be a good idea. The problem is I have too many shortcuts already. But I can put it here, I can say resource display / resource display. And then I can put another one which is resource side. And I can say / resource hide. Okay. So at least we have two commands, we can just click on it, right? Oh fuck, it went the other side. Oh no, it doesn't fit. Okay. So if I do resource hide and then I do resource display, right? Now I see. Yeah, you have to use add sub. Sorry, I mistyped the command. It's not add, is add sub. Because we are creating a child and not the father. I think I can. So this basically creates a container for one plant to spawn in this area. Is as big as the area is really as big as you want, as long as it stays inside the sector. As long as it stays within one sector, that's the only constraint, right? We have. 1 second, because I really don't like the way I did it, because it's super confusing. I think it's super confusing. No! I knew I would do that. Okay, like this is a bit better. Fuck, they are upside down. Why? Super annoying. Okay. Sorry, but here I'm trying just to make the commands a bit more understandable. Okay, so this basically is creating a container. Okay. So now if I hide and display, and you did it right. Yeah, exactly, you did it right. So we have two locations, right? Plus the original, right? Plus the original. Now, how do you differentiate between these three? If you right click, it's telling you, right? The game is telling you. So this one is telling you there is a sub ID. You see here in the chat. Maybe you don't see it, but if I put it here, you see it. If you right click on this one, and you have to right click on the outside, not on the inside, but it's telling you that this is a sub ID 118, right? And that is the ID of the sub resource. And if we click on mine, it will tell you whatever 117, right? So this is the way you know it. This is the container, right? This is the container, saffron, because it doesn't have sub ID. And this one here is a real spawning point, okay? Sub ID 118. Got it? So basically what the game is doing, just to explain you why we have these two types, right? What the game is doing is when the server starts, it search for the container and it reads how many it needs to spawn, which are the active, right? The one that we said active locations. So it knows how many to spawn. Then it selects one of these random locations. So this one and this one, right? And he spawns it. Okay. So we can test it. We can test it and see what happens. So what we are expecting that happens now. We are expecting that if I restart the server starts, read this thing and say, oh yes, here I have to spawn something. How many I have to spawn? When I created this, I said 1. So it will randomize between these two locations that we created and it will spawn 1. Okay? So let me restart the server and I will show you what it does. Okay? No, server quit 0. Okay, 0. Okay, so the server is restarting. Now, obviously, when we plant the seed, we don't do the test if they respawn, right? We assume that they respawn, so we will not care. We just plant seed, plant seed, plant seed, plant seed, plant seed, plant seed, right? So that's the way we will do it. We don't restart the server, but if we want to restart the server, we can. And you can see basically what it's doing, but I would say you can just do resource display. Now the server is restarting. And he should spawn the stuff. So that you see it. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's spawning also the NPC. I think I said NPC, no, but anyway. Yeah, I think he's spawning also the NPC. I think I can remove the NPC so it's a bit quicker. Yeah, I mean, waiting the world thing is like insane. But anyway. Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Just a second, I want to see if the configuration is correct, because it seems that it did spawn stuff that I didn't want to spawn. Default config. Because here there is a mess. Okay, 1 second. There is a problem with the... There is a problem with the configuration because it got messed up. Yeah, it got messed up by this thing. Oh my god. True, false. Okay. Now it should be good, huh? Hopefully. Let me see. Anyway, if it doesn't spawn them, I don't care. But in theory, it should, right? In theory, it should spawn the thingy. It should spawn the flower. If it doesn't... In theory, if it doesn't, it should tell me in the log. So one problem that we may have is that if the resource is too high, because if the resource location is too high, the server doesn't find the ground, right? Because it's basically projecting vertically and it's trying to find the ground where to put the flower. So if you put the location too high on the ground, it will not find it. And it will not spawn it. So I don't know if this is the case. We will see. Maybe we can modify it in case. But we have two ways of fixing that. One is to create a location when we are crouched. That is actually a bit lower. The second is to... Let me see if it did it now. No, it didn't do it. Fuck it. It didn't do it. Okay. It's because the resource is too high. It's because the resource is too high. It's kind of annoying, huh? But anyway, from what we are concerned, I mean, this is what we need, right? We need the locations. Then, if it doesn't spawn it, it can be another problem. I'm just checking on the log if there is any mention to the fact that it couldn't spawn the resource. So in general, it says like cannot find ground or something like that. I cannot find it now. It is actually a bit weird that it didn't work. But anyway, you get the idea, right? So maybe try to create few more while I'm trying to debug this problem. Try to get a few more in other areas here and see how it works, just to get a sense, right? You can just create a sub at the moment, because if you want to create another spawn location of the same flower, right, you can just use the same ID of the father, which is 329, whatever it is, right? If you want to create a different flower, then you have to create a new father resource, okay? Let me just check one thing. Will be like 40 centimeters, yeah. Select from natural resource. If you have any question, ask, okay? So we're 117 and 118, yeah, 16, 17, 18. 16, 17, 18. 17, 18. I don't know why I'm looking at this and trying to understand why. Ah, by the way, I can look at it from here. Yeah, I can look at it from here, which is so much easier. I have the database connected, so I can look at it directly. And I can modify directly here. Are the NPCs still loaded or not? No, the NPC are not loaded anymore. So it got the right configuration file. My feeling is that they are too high on the ground. Which is a bit of a problem though. I think I need to fix that. You should go down like 55, I mean like 1 meter or so, no? So the two main command will be add and add sub. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to do anything else. So you add, like to say, you add to create a container for a new flower, and then add sub, add sub, add sub, add sub, add sub, add sub, add sub. Then you go in another place, add new flower, and then sub, 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 sub. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. So it's fairly simple at the end. It's just that the only constraint that you have to stay within one sector, right? For one container. That's the only. But I would like to see why it doesn't freaking spawn. But pretty much that's it. Uh-oh. What? No, I didn't refresh it. That's impossible. Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't refresh it. I don't know. I don't understand why. Why these two are not spawning, right? I'm going 30 centimeters lower, and I want to see if okay, let me restart the server one more time. By the way, you can restart the server with server quit 0 in case you want to, and he restarts automatically. So you can just type server quit 0 and then wait like 2 minutes, 1 minute. I mean, it's pretty fast, but it's not super fast, but it's pretty fast. Unfortunately, it needs to load all the maps, so this is what is taking time. I want to see in the log if it's telling me that it cannot spawn. But we don't care because we only need the locations, right? So no number on amount. No, because the number is determined by the container. So it's the father that decides, right? The father decides. So it's like in this picture, right? So you have, so this is your container. This is your container, right? And you have one resource that says, this is my container, which is the add. And on the add, you say, I want 2 to spawn at the same time of all the child that you have, right? I don't know if it makes sense, but it's basically the father looking how many child are there, and then deciding how many needs to spawn. How many children, sorry. Hello, Hula. Good evening. Now, if we have a problem with the height, I think I can fix it another way. So I can just make the beam, longer. No, it's just not spawning it. It's not spawning it. What the fuck? Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I want to understand why. But it works on my machine, right? This is another server, so I think we should not care too much, but still I would like to understand why. Yeah, in theory, you should print this, right? You should print spawning meshes for natural resources. Exactly. So let me see if in the log I see this, because it is very, very strange. That is not. He said spawning 109 meshes. Spawning 109 meshes. So in theory it does it. Is there another location connected to the same group? They maybe decided to spawn it another way? No, I don't think so. It's kind of strange. It is kind of strange. I don't know if the 1-1 is messing up. But it should not. Okay, I know what is happening. We don't have a spawn mesh because we are not giving the spawn mesh. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So the problem is not the location or anything else. The problem is that at the moment my command is really not adding any visible mesh. It's not adding any visible mesh. Yeah, so this one, unfortunately, I cannot fit. I mean, we can do a pass on all of them, but that is what it will be, right? So so what I will have to do to fix this is to copy it from another one, and then it will work. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. So at least we see it working one time, right? So because at least you understand better how it works. Because, but anyway, I think you got it. But let me just demonstrate it actually works. Yeah, at the moment he's spawning it, but he has no flower. That's why. He has no flower. He has no flower. He has no flower. Are you running around or standing still? Okay, you're standing still. Good. I will restart the server one more time. And we will see. And now in theory it will work, right? So we just want to see the thing spawning. But in reality, we plant seed with spoons. No, we plant it with commands. Okay, so basically the sequence, right? The sequence is, and let me type this. So this one creates a container or an area, a container for one plant to spawn. I don't know if container is really the right way to say it, but it creates like a placeholder for an area, right? Maybe it's better to call it area. I don't know how to call it, but it's like an area. It's like an area placeholder. I don't know. Creates. I mean, it doesn't really create anything, but it defines. I don't know how to call it. Let's call it starting point. Let's call it starting point. So it's creating a starting point or a starting. I mean, it's not really a starting point. I don't know. Creates. You see the flowers? Okay, yeah. Now that I added that, you see the flower I set them. Yeah. So if you now do resource display, right? Right. So if you now do resource display, you will see that there is the father, and the father we just put it as a placeholder for the area, right? So it will never spawn here, okay? It will never spawn on the father, never. Then you see two child, right? Two children. You see two children, this one and this one, right? So the server decided randomly one or the other, okay? Then try to harvest this one. Try to harvest the flowers where you are, right? You can harvest with a sickle or with whatever. And we said that the amount is 1, right? So as soon as you harvest it, and that is finished, right? The server will have this disappear, and then it will reappear again randomly in one of the two locations, in theory. Now, I don't know if it's doing it, but it should reappear or here or there. For some reason it's not reappearing, and that is maybe another problem. Why is not reappearing? Ah, it reappeared now. Okay, you see? Yeah, it takes just a number of seconds. So now he randomized again between the two, right? He randomized again between the two. Now, if we add a third one, right, it will then randomize between 3 and so on. If we add a 5, we randomize between 5 and so on. So here you can harvest again, and he may actually choose the same location or a new location, right? But obviously the players do not see the location, so they have no idea where they are, right? So that's the point, right? And I think we should do it on a fairly big area, right? So I think they should not be all close to each other. So maybe this one is here, this one is there, this one can be, another one can be, I don't know, another one can be down here. I think they should be fairly distant between each other. I don't know how much, we have to decide how much, but I mean, if they are all in the same location, obviously there is no exploration, there is no search, right? We want the players to search a bit, right? But basically this is what you have to do. So basically the sequence is, let me just summarize it here. So this creates the starting point for one plant area. So this is never used for spawning, right? This is never used for spawning. The only okay. Create a starting point for one play. Okay. Then this one is creating. So this one, the sub, right, creates a location to spawn, right? This one is spawning, right? The father is never spawning. To spawn a flower, creates a location to spawn a flower. It refers to the starting point, right? So this natural resource ID, this natural resource ID is the ID of the starting point. And on the starting point, we define all the characteristics. So we define the flower. So you see that in the sub, you don't say which flower. And you don't say which flower, because it's the starting point that knows the flower, right? And the starting point ID, right? You can see it by right-clicking. You can see it by right-clicking on the starting point, okay? And from this, right? From this, from the starting point, it takes the flower type, right? So I hope it's clear. I don't know. I think that should be clear enough, right? I can send you this in chat so you have it for the future. Okay. So what is the work? I mean, when we have defined all the resources where they should go, you have to say maybe do this. Click on the gravity. Did you create the gravity thingy? Or type set me gravity. Okay, type set me gravity. Okay, now just look up with the mouse and move forward, and you're flying. Whee! Okay, if you want to stop, you press space. Okay. The fly goes where you are looking at. So if you want to go up, you have to look up, and then press W. Okay. Okay, you're already flying around. If you want to stop, you press space. Okay, you are there flying. Okay, so for example, right? So what we have to do, we have to say, oh, in this area. No, we will not do it in this. Yeah, if you press gravity again, you become normal. Now, if you are, yeah, you should be impervious to damage at the moment. So I assume you didn't die. Yeah, you didn't die. Okay. Okay, so for example, stay there. Come to me. No, I will teleport you to me. Okay. Whee! Press space. Okay, so for example, we look. I'm here. I'm below you. For example, we say, oh, this area, right? And you can zoom out a bit, maybe to see it, right? This area. Can we use this area for something? Yes. Maybe what you can do, you can fly even higher, right? You can fly as high as you want. And then you can take a screenshot or something and say, where do I want to place the plants, right? You can take a screenshot or whatever, and you can say, so now I took a screenshot, right? I don't know, you can decide how you want to do it, but, and you can think, oh, I want, I don't know, one here, right? I want, I don't know, one maybe is good here, one is good here, which is hard to reach. I don't know, maybe it's on a hill. One is behind this rock, right? One is behind this rock, one is here, and one is here. I think in terms of distance, something like that is okay. If we can do it like on top, I mean, behind the rock, on top of a mountain. I mean, obviously it must be reachable. You should ensure that it's reachable, because if you put stuff in places that is not reachable and then it spawns there, we are fucked, right? Because people will never find it. So something like that. I don't know. We say, oh, I put one here, I put one here, I put one here, I put one here. So, and you say, oh, this one is the night lantern. Let's say, right? Let's say that is night lantern. So the first thing you have to do, and I would like to have it in another color, but at the moment it's not in another color. Let me take a note, by the way, because I will do it. I will do it in the next release. To have the father, to have the placeholder in another color, displayed in another color, like golden or something. Have natural resource starting point in another color, like gold or something. Okay, I will do that. So you will see them differently, right? Because at the moment you see them all the same, it's very confusing. I know. Unfortunately, if I change it now, the client will not be more compatible and you cannot connect. So it will be a mess. But we will color it differently just for the explanation, right? So you will say, okay, this is roughly the area. So I put my placeholder here, my starting point here, and I say this is night lantern. So what I do here, I do slash resource. It's not very visible. Fuck it. It's not very visible. I do slash resource, right? Add Now it should be visible. Slash resource add, right? Night lantern 1-1. For now, always say 1-1. Don't care about it. Don't think how many. Don't think. Say 1-1. Okay. So here I do resource add night lantern 1-1. Okay. Then I click on it. Then I click. I see the ID. And for example, the ID is 330. Right? I see the ID. And I memorize or I read it in the chat. Oh, this new location is 330. And then I just start to say resource add sub 330, right? So I go there. You have to go there physically, right? You go there physically. Resource add sub 330. Resource add sub 330. You can just go up with the arrow, right? And it presents the last command, right? Resource at sub 330, resource at sub 330, right? Job done. Okay, so in this case, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commands, right? We created the main starting point, and we created the five potential places. Job done. Then we move to another area, another plant, job done. Move to another area, job done, and so on, right? You understand how it works? Now, there is one thing that we can do, obviously, which is to create, and the starting point can be anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be in the middle. It doesn't have to be, the only request is in the same sector, okay? So you can say, oh, I have here resource add eyebright, right? Eyebright 1-1, right? And then I decide that my eyebright is very close, or anyway, in this area, in this area as well, right? And we can do it. I think it's no problem, because remember that only 1 or 2 will spawn at the same time. So we can put eyebright here, eyebright here, eyebright here, eyebright here, and eyebright here, right? And then if we say I want only 1 spawned at a time, the player will see, for example, right? The player will see at a given time, maybe this one and this one, and nothing else, right? All the others are the future positions that will be randomized. So the player will harvest this, and then after some time, maybe this one will appear and this one will appear, right? So what I'm saying is that we can have more than one flower pretty much in the same place. Probably I would not put more than 2, because if you put more than 2, it starts to be a bit too much. And in general, probably we should put only 1. But I think if we want, we can put 2 as well, right? And these 2 things may slightly overlap. So if we look at the map in a much bigger scale, right? So if you type this command, you can copy paste it if you want from the chat. Slide me up 300, right? So you are basically sliding yourself up 300 meters. So you see the land from the top, right? And so we can say, for example, here, right? So here we are very, very far away. We can say, oh, this area is eyebright. This area is a night lantern. And maybe we can say, this area is saffron, right? And there is an overlap, but I think it's fine as long as they are not exactly in the same place, right? They are not one on top of the other, so they should always be in separate places. But I think it's fine. We can also have a bit of overlap of the areas, right? It's okay. Okay, so do you understand how it works? Do you have any questions? Do you think you can do it? Basically, you have to travel around, move yourself. You can teleport. You can do what you want. I can give you coordinates to teleport easier between cities. But yeah, that, for example, in areas where we have in areas where we have a farm, right, we have to decide. Now the farmer is a bit harder, because the farm, what do we do with the farm? What do we do with the farm? For example, you see here, you see that there is stuff, right? Here there is stuff. Here there are some locations, and you can always right click to see what it is, right? You have to go close enough, but then you can right click. So for example, here is telling you that here there is an apple that is spawning in this location, right? And for example, these flowers are actually nothing because they are just visuals, right? But you see there is no circle. So it means that nothing spawns here and you cannot harvest this. But for example, here there is something, and there is a carrot, right? And there is a carrot. So in theory you can harvest this carrot. I think I have the hang of it. I do have this thing to go back on. Okay, and you can make some tests. I think I will still need some time to actually define where things goes or not. But yeah, this is what we should do. And I can do a bit myself. You can do a bit yourself. Now, my suggestion will be to put it in places that give a bit of a challenge, right? Maybe not a lot of challenge, but just a bit of a challenge. Like for example, right? If you say, oh, I'm saying something stupid now, okay? I understand you will not do it. But for example, if you say, oh, I will place, you know, just outside the door of the main city, right? Let me take the screenshot. Just outside the door of the main city, I'm gonna put, you know, 10 locations of all different flowers, right? This will be very bad, because basically this means that a player will just go here and will find all the flowers, and also they are so close to each other within the same flower type that they will continuously respawn, right? And so there will be no search, will be too easy, right? Will be too easy. And we don't want it to be too easy. So we want the people to explore, go out, go maybe a bit in the wilderness, and then here and there find some flowers. And maybe the player will not be searching exactly that flower, so even if he finds other ones, is okay. Right? So this is bad, right? And you understand why it's bad. It's bad because you are placing too many too close, and they will always respawn here. Because remember that they spawn within a group. Within a fodder, right? Within a starting point. So the starting point decides. So they are grouped in starting points. I don't know. I try to explain this as best as I can. I hope it makes sense. Now, the real question that I have, and I don't know if you want to, if you have, I think if you Lower level items have just off the road view, so it's not out on the new player. Yeah, I mean, if you really have a plan that is like super basic, right? Super basic, you can also put it here, right? But the interesting part would be maybe you put it here, one, but you put another location here and another location here. So you put it in different spots, so it's not always next to the road. So sometimes it's next to the road, sometimes you have to walk a bit more because it will randomly respawn, right? As soon as it's harvested. And so yeah, maybe the higher level can be in harder places, right? Maybe a summary of the explanation could be documented in the GM wiki. Yeah, potentially. I mean, I can put this screenshot. I can put this screenshot, right? Or take this text and put it on the wiki. Okay, now the hard part is to decide which plants go where, right? The only problem I have is that I don't think I want to disclose this list with the stream, so I don't think I want to stream it because I would like to give you a bit of a challenge there. I don't think I want to publish the list, right? So I think I will look it off stream, right? I will look at our pivot, no spoiler, no fun. Spoilers, no fun, yeah. So I think I will look at our list off stream. I see you did some changes. I have to look at the changes and see if we can start. Maybe I can look it on the other screen, 1 second, but I think one point is that I would like to be sure that we have certain I mean, there are no plans that are basically unreachable, right? And then there are no places with 0 plans. There is a bit of my thinking. So let me see. You added all this. I think this table we can share is fine. Let me share this thing. Let me share this. This is not a problem because he has no spoiler, right? So this is the number of plants by region. Okay, let me look 1 second at all the places, right? So Bidorsin is missing, but do we really need something? Maybe not. Bronze doors inside is basically where the citadel is, right? Where the citadel is and is after. I think we will reserve it for new plants. I think we can have some special mushrooms that are only in certain areas. Let me see what Ula said, because I think you said something. I ignored you, Ula, sorry. Ula saying, could you use this system for the in-game mushroom too, or you have another system already? No, mushrooms are actually part of the plants. So the mushroom will be also is part of this. Is part of this. So the plants are bushes, berries, mushrooms, flowers. They all work in the same way. They all work in the same way. So a mushroom is spawning in one place, and then after some time it spawns in another place, right? Now the pivot is not updated. Yeah, it is updated. It updates automatically. What do you mean? The pivot is taking the data from the other table, so it should be automatically updated. In fact, I don't see any more Bidor South 13, but I see Bidor South 14, right? I mean, unless, let me see, unless, unless the range is different. Let me see if the range is different. What the hell? Let me see the range. The range goes from what? The range goes from E4 to F130, 143. E4. E4. E4 is correct. And F143, no, it's not correct. Okay, we have to extend it up to 206. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's just the range that is wrong, but there is a small pen at the bottom of that is called edit, and you can, I can do 250 because I think the blanks anyway, I think we skip the blanks anyway, so. Okay, now it's updated, and we have to do the same on the other pivot, 250, let's say. Okay. Okay, so now it's updated. It updates by itself unless you add more lines, and if you add more lines, you just need to tell him to read, you know, to read from the new lines. Okay, let me look at this. So the first check for me is, do we have plants in every area? Right, so there is the check. Now this first line is just because there is an empty line, but it's okay. Just ignore it. So we have large west 14. Okay. Wait, let me take another screenshot so that I can mark the stuff. Anyway, you have seen this picture already, so I think it's fine. If you see it again, I don't really care. Okay, so let's say large west, we have it because it's here and it's 14. Then Amnedair area. Okay, so you put it in so because we have Amnedair and we have Amnedair area, I think it should be in Amnedair area. So basically is the whole area, but it's okay, it's this one. Right? It's just the name is different. Aralot, we have it. Emerald Lake, we have it. Large East, we have it. Should I mark them here as well so that we don't do it twice? I think you already did this check, but I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a paranoid man, so I will do it again. An Emerald Lake, okay. Then we have Bidor South. Then we have BD Road 1 and 2. Then we have Cup of Lungs, which is very far away, but okay, it's fine. Cup of Lungs and Oja Desert. Then we have Northeast Border. Northeast Border. You called it Oja Central. Okay, it's fine. Just a different name, but it's okay. Northeast Border, Oja Central. Then we have Raurim, Ilondonari, okay. Ptero Arena, ok. Rauren, Ilon Donari, Ptero Arena. Then we have Observatory Area, okay. Then we have Oja 1, Oja 2, Oja 1, Oja 2. Okay, then we have Idla. Fine. I think the winch, I don't know if do we want to have special flower in the winch? Because in theory we could, but the winch, there is a bit of grass. There is a bit of grass in the winch. Like the people that have access to the winch have access to, I mean, have an easier access to certain flowers. Could be, I don't know. Could be a benefit, you know, of accessing the winch. I don't see iWest 0704, and that's the problem. Then there is Goog North, okay. Goog North. Cormia. It's called Idla West. Okay, it's called Idla West. Idla West is this one, yeah, is I West, right? Cormia, I West, Homestead, okay, Homestead, Delver. Delver actually is not in this map, but I think that because it's inside BD Road 2, but we can probably. So the question is, do we want Delver to be separate or not? Ojapat, I think Ojapat should not be here. I think Ojapat is just the road that goes from Ojaveda to. I think Ojapat to me is a question mark, right? I don't think we probably need it separate. Because it's a very, very small place. I think the question is Delver and Ojapat. Did we miss anything? No. Well, we have Bidor Sin, so the inside the bronze doors, right? So there are few things that are, I would not say missing, but we need to think. So Bidor's bronze doors inside, right? Bronze doors inside. So which is all the part after the bronze doors. So there are some caves and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe we can reserve it for the future. And then the winch. And then the winch. These are two things that we should think about. I think they can be 0 at the moment. What do you think about the winch? No, what I got to double checked. Could you make it separate? Could you make it a separate location? Which one? Delver is showing more of a farmland in my mind. Yeah, but Delver. Yeah, I will give you some teleport locations for you to move, because otherwise I think it's hard. But if you want to go to Delver, just copy paste this into the game. We can meet there. Assuming that you're still there. Yeah, you're still there. Just copy paste it, so you don't have to type it again. Okay, just copy paste that command. Because you are on YouTube, so okay, you don't see it. Okay, so I can put it in YouTube as well. You are on YouTube. I pasted it in Twitch. in Twitch chat. So I pasted it now also on YouTube. So you can copy paste it. So with that, you come here to Delver, and I think in this area, so Delver is a subsector of BD Road 2, right? So if we say that BD Road 2 has, I have the tab up on my other monitor. Yeah, you should see the text, no? Or no? Maybe it's coming out as a command. No, it should be visible, right? Do you see it as a in the chat? Do you see the /teleport in the chat? I think you should see it. Unless he's taking it as a command. Well, if he's taking it as a command, let me do this. Okay. So just copy paste it in the game, right? So you will teleport here. Copy paste it in the chat. No? I see you not coming. Okay, but anyway, I'm saying that this area is a subsector of BD Road 2. And so what we could do, so when we say when we say BD Road 2 is 5 plants, not taken as a command. Yeah, you should, in plane shift you should have no space at the beginning, otherwise if you do this, it will say that. So you should have no space at the beginning, otherwise I can type it in the, wait, I can give it to you in Discord. Maybe it's easier in Discord. Yeah, because you have a space at the front. I think you have a space at the front, that's why. Try from... what? Try to copy it from Discord. I send it to you on Discord. If it pops up as a speech, it means that you didn't copy properly, or you didn't copy the slash, or you copied an extra space or something. I don't know. Yeah, but so basically, when we say 5 plants in BD Road 2 and 6 plants in Delver, what do we mean, right? Because they are in the one is a subsector of the other, so. But anyway, I have to think about it. In terms of distribution, I think we should look at the sides. I don't know if you did this reasoning, but for example, why... for example, why we have well, Cormia, for example, Cormia area, right? Cormia area we have 4 plants. Cormia area we have 4 plants. Cormia area is big as this. Okay. And I don't know. BD Road 1, right? BD Road 1. I see you now. I see you there. And BD Road 1 is 10, right? So they have exactly the same sides. They have exactly the same sides on the map. Because it's this sides and this sides, but one is double the plants. Now, it may be fine because BD Road 1 actually is a road that people use often, right? And so I think it's a bit easier on the player. So I think it may be okay. I think it may be okay. I'm just reasoning a bit, right? I'm just trying to reason on. And like Bidor South has 14 plants. Now 14 seems to be a very big number because how many plants we have in total? How many plants we have in total? How many plants we have in total? These ones. Well, excluding the fruits, because the fruits are a bit weird, but we have 37 total. Yeah, 201 is the number of non-unique plant locations. But what I'm thinking is how many plants we have in total, right? Meaning different types. How many types of plants we have? So we have 37 minus maybe the fruits that we cannot really move, right? Minus 1, 2, and 3. So let's say we have 34. So we have 34 different types. So it is reasonable. Is it reasonable that we have 14 of them in this area? Isn't that a bit too much? So we have more than half. No, we have half, less than half. But anyway, we have half of them in one place. I mean, it's kind of a big place because actually it's 2 blocks. Every block is 1.2 kilometers by 1.2 kilometers. Okay, so you have to consider each one of these blocks. I mean, a single block, right? Like this single block is 1.2 kilometers. So Bidor South is actually big, but still 14. I mean, Large West is okay. Remember that our map is not like this. Remember that our map is like this, okay? So this part does not exist because it's outside of the, right? I mean, Large West, I think I'm fine. 14, I mean, if we distribute them enough, I think it's okay. Bidor South still seems to be too much. Because at the end, what happens? If we concentrate too much is that the players will find out, oh, in Bidor South there is 14, in Emerald Lake there is 15, so the total is 30. So basically between these two locations you have pretty much everything, and all the harvesting will be done here, and here, and no one else will harvest plant in any other place of the map, right? And that is a problem because we made a wall system, so you can go a bit around, and then everyone will harvest always in the same place, right? Now this number doesn't really tell us if 14 and 15 are not overlapping, right? Maybe there are a lot of overlap, so maybe for the others they have to go other places, but I think it's still a bit risky, right? So this kind of reasoning I think we should do. I don't know if I want to place a hard limit, right? I don't know if I want to place a really hard limit, but I think that 10 different plants is already a good number in one place. Maybe the only exception is Large West and Large East, because these are very, very, very large area, right? And probably I should split it even more in sectors. Maybe I should. By the way, I think I never converted the sectors. Oh fuck, did I forget about that? I never converted these sectors to be real sectors in game. I mean, I put it here, but I didn't... I didn't do it. I think we should do it, guys. We should do it now, because if I close this file and I don't save it or whatever, or I forget, we will not have this. This sector are only in this file. So let's put it. Let's put them. Yes, but the check we had to do. We have to check if there were any NPC in these areas. How do I know? Okay, but anyway, I think Resildren, I told you all I wanted to tell you. So if you have to go, you're free to go. Let's say. If you want to stay, you can stay, obviously. But yeah, I don't have. I think we discussed it. I think that next steps are to finalize the list, and maybe I will work a bit on it offline, because I really need to look more at all the things, right? And then when we finalize it, we can start to spread on the test server. I think I have one more question. The question is, what do we do with the existing ones, right? Because we have a bunch of existing ones. So if I go, and by the way, you can teleport in the same way. If you just change the coordinates, you can teleport in any of the locations that we have in the spreadsheet, right? The one that are called current location. So for example, let me just take one randomly, right? Feverfew, right? Feverfew. So if I go Feverfew, oh, there is no map. Because on my client I don't have the map. Fuck it. Well, I can go release client. Yeah, let me go release client 1 second. Release client. Here I have the map, right? Is a release client. Yes. So for example, this is a location, right? And you can harvest it. There is an existing location. So, and by the way, the old locations are the starting points. If I do display resource, right? If I do resource display, this is, well, it's a very large one, but anyway, this is an area, right? So the question is, do we want to keep this one as a fodder? By the way, these flowers are very nice. Look at these flowers, boys. Top quality. Can we try white oak bark? I've been failing to find it, and I've been in white side. It's supposed to be. Yeah, you can just look at the list. If you go in the Excel, right, and you search bark. Now, bark is a kind of a special thing, but anyway. You search bark. White oak bark, yes, it is here. The problem, I think, that it is not. I think bark is broken at the moment, but there are two locations. You can see it in the Excel file under current locations, right? Yeah, is here. Is here, but it's not visible, and I can actually even harvest it. But bark is a problem because bark is not a plant. I mean, we cannot have bark just appear randomly on the ground, right? So it doesn't make any sense. Bark, you have to take it from a real tree, right? So in theory, you should go here and harvest this, right? And get bark. But it's not the way it works at the moment. That is not the way it works at the moment. Bark is broken at the moment. It's broken. I have to decide what to do with bark because at the moment you can harvest any tree you want, right? And we are detecting the type of tree, right? We are detecting which kind of tree it is. So you get the wood that kind of makes sense for what you see, right? So one way would be that randomly you get a piece of wood and a piece of bark, or a piece of bark, right? The problem is that our system at the moment supports one item. I cannot give 2 items. I mean, I can extend it, right? But it will require a bit of work. Because yeah, at the moment we are detecting three types of trees, and when you harvest those ones, you get the corresponding item. You get 9542. I don't know what is it, but anyways, is the two thingies, is the two wood types, right? So or we say that, or we change the name, but changing the name of an item is always a mess. Someone was suggesting that that it was by the tool. Yes, Javi. Yeah, exactly what you're saying. Someone was saying you can use different tools, and based on the tool you can get different material. The problem is that also this is not at the moment possible with the current implementation. I mean, I can change it, but this is not an easy change because basically is I will have to say I mean, the easiest change is that I do this. That here in the database, this is the resulting item, okay? So this is what you get when you harvest this particular tree, right? Like acacia, right? The easiest I can do this, and I can do 1, another, so that I can specify more than one item, and then I randomize. So basically when you harvest in the tree, sometimes you get wood, sometimes you get bark. Randomly, like 50-50. That is the simplest change And obviously it already requires quite a bit because I have to change, this is an integer at the moment, this is a number, right? I have to make this a string. I have to make the loading and the loading of this table different, and then I have to change the storage of this data, because item reward ID obviously is also stored as an integer, you see? So here is still stored as an integer. So I will have to store it as a string or as an array of int. And then, so I will have to change this. I will have to change all the functions that are working on this. And then we have a bigger problem because that resource also has a name. So the name needs to become multiple names. The reward itself needs to become multiple rewards. And then I have to change, when we actually harvest, I have to change the randomization, to make it random, right? So it is a bit of a change. I mean, it's not impossible, but obviously, right? But it's a bit of a change. Because we do not support multiple items in one harvesting location. Yeah. Actually, there is a lot of stuff here. I don't know what is it, but we can learn it. There is a Glaboria. This one you can see at least. Okay, the Glaboria you can see. These flowers, right? This one you can harvest here. So here there is the Glaboria and there is the bark that is not visible. I mean, the other way, I can make a pile of bark, but I think it looks a bit stupid, right? I mean, I can take you understand what I mean, right? So I can take this. I can take this, put it in a pile. I don't have GIMP open. That's impossible. I don't see it. GIMP is one of those icons that changes with the color of the image, and so you don't see it. No, I think I have it closed. It's insane. Anyway, oh wow. So I can take this, make it a pile, and then I can have it spawning, right? So you will see a pile of bark on the ground, and you harvest it, right? But that sounds pretty stupid. That would be easy. So like I do it. That would be easy, so it can work tomorrow, right? Because it's just well, tomorrow. It needs anyway a client update, but. So I take this thing. Oh wow, it's not. So I take this thing, I make it a 3D item, then I pile it up, right? And then I pile it up, right? And you will see it on the ground. You will see a thing like that. You will see a thing like that on the ground, but isn't that completely stupid? No, it is paint. This will never work. Nearly there, boys, huh? Yeah, like that. Like that. So you will see this. You say, oh, there is bark here. And you harvest it like you harvest a flower. And then after some time, it respawns in another place, right? So you have bark. After some time, you know, but I don't know, I think it's brutal. I think it's brutal. I mean, this will be compatible with the current system, because the current system is reasoning this way. So a flower or a plant or a bush or a berry or a mushroom, right, as a mesh, a visible thing, and that visible thing is spawned, you harvest it, then disappears and appears somewhere else, right? But doing this with the bark is looking super stupid. Like if we do it with the wood, right? With the wood, we don't do it. We ask you to harvest the tree. With the complexity of a new system, perhaps better to open a player flower market in Isla who be sure to find everything in the same place. Well, you can do it as a player. If you go around and harvest the plants, right? Harvest the plants, and then you can have a nice kiosk in the plaza and sell them. You can become rich, Ulla. And all the players will come to you to buy the flowers that maybe you harvested very far away. In the bronze doors or in the desert. Well, we will have plants also in the desert. Okay, but anyway, I think it was a good session. I think I don't want to do more of this at the moment, but I will work on it in the next days, maybe a bit offline. Now I have to do this. Oh my god. White oak bark is a higher level product. So in theory it should be more rare. But what is it used for? What do we use bark for? I don't know. Is under what? Plants parts? Bark? White oak bark? White oak bark is used for what? It's used for nothing. What? I mean, a bark is not used for anything. It's not used for crafting. It's not used for spells. Interesting, they're saying no spells are used in these items. In quest? Yes, it is in 2 quests. But we can change it. It's in 2 quests. It's in Kaiman, Gilat needs plant supply, and something is brewing. I mean, the plant supply, we can change it right now. And fuck this bark. This one we can change it immediately. I mean, who cares that this guy is asking you for bark? He can ask anything else. You need 5 white oak wood and 5 white oak bark. I mean, we can remove the bark and just ask for 5 white oak wood and that's it. He's asking it only one time in a repeatable quest that has like dozens and dozens of requests. So this one I think we should just remove. I think we should remove the bark. Let me see the other one. The other one is Conclave of the Glyphs. Something is brewing. What is this guy saying? Here are your plants. Can you get my order filled? Brewmaster, all the plants sniff the nose. They smell terrific to say, but I want to help. Blah, blah, blah. I need the secret ingredient. Go get me. Go get me. 10 white oak bark and 10 purple orchid stem. We can just remove it here as well. We can just have 10 purple orchid stem and that's more than enough. We can remove it, guys. We can remove it. We can remove it, even if here it seems that he's using it in multiple places. 60 ops. Barkeeper. No, barkeeper is not. Barkeeper is not. Wow, this quest is super long. What the hell? My suggestion is to remove it. Let's just remove it, guys. It's in 2 quests. Nowhere else is a problem because we don't understand how to harvest it. It's not an item that you can easily harvest. We will just harvest wood. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove it. Consider it removed. I will remove it. I will remove it. Let me put it here. Where is it in our list? White oak bark. It was already yellow. It was already in another. No, it was already green, like in another color. I will remove it. Or we transform it into a new flower. Then we'll be okay. If we want, we can keep it. But we can transform it into a flower, into a bush, into whatever you want. So I only need to change the name, right? Instead of white oak bark, it will be something else. We can do that. Do we want a new plant? Which plant we want? I don't know. Another mushroom? I think it would be nice to have multiple mushroom types. Maybe we can have another mushroom. How many mushrooms we have? Only 1 mushroom? Why we don't have the weird ones? The weird ones harvestable. That would be cool. Yeah, I think we can do that. But if it's too hard to find, the thingies, you know, the glowing ones that we have in the caverns, no? What do you think? These ones. Wait. You don't know maybe which ones they are because they are in a place that is not very accessible today. But bronze doors, the one that you see in the tutorial area. Drawbridge, Stonehammer Towers. Yes, yeah. There is so much to develop in this game. No, not here. No, not here. Outpost. Yeah, outpost. Yeah. Here. Like this. There can be something that can be found only in caves. The problem of caves. Yeah, maybe. Should we put something? Yeah, I think it would be nice. We have lake and night mushrooms. Can we have... Do you want to harvest these things? Or do you want to harvest... Well, now here they are a bit too big, but... I mean, smaller than this, obviously. But I can make it smaller, okay? I mean, it is a bit big. That is kind of big, but I can make it small. So we have this, we have that, we have few more that now I don't know where to find. Here. Here. And I can make it small, right? I can make them small, so like... That's ones. Then I don't know what we can use them for, but... What is it? No, that's a mineral. I mean, we could have some mushrooms in the caves, actually. Bring an axe. We need one that's unique and is a high level product. Because the bark is high level. I don't know if it's high level. I mean, it's high level because that quest... Where is that quest in the chain? Ah, good question. Where is that quest in the chain? I didn't mention it in the quest, because I think I already thought to remove it. It's not in the list. Okay, what was that quest? Was something's brewing? Okay, I have to do something that you should not see. So I'm moving to the other screen 1 second. Because it's the wall quest list with all the prerequisite, and yeah, it's very deep. Is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is 7 deep. Yeah, it's 7 deep. So it's kind of yeah, it's high level. I mean, we can change it to a mushroom, and we can put the mushroom in the caves. We can spawn mushroom in caves. It's not a problem. In the caves, I mean the old caves, right? The old caves, not this new, because I think this area at the moment is not really reachable. I mean, this area is behind the bronze doors, and at the moment, unless a game master is doing an event here, you cannot really come here. I mean, you should, but we didn't yet connect it. So, yeah. Yeah, there's too much to do in this game, guys. It's too much to do. But anyway, my suggestion will be to convert it to a mushroom and put that mushroom as an harvestable item in the caves. In which cave, I don't know, but it can be any of the caves. Tibrin is on the. I didn't load the NPC. If you want, I can load the NPC. Just taking a bit more time to start up, but I didn't load any NPC. And to load them, I have to restart the server. Okay, guys, it's a bit late. I have to go. But I think it was a good session. At least we reasoned a bit on this. I think you know what to do, right? And how to do it. Now we just need to finalize this list. I will work a bit offline and see if I can finalize it. And meanwhile, I will work on this so that we can make it 3D and we can add it to the city of the Diaboli. Right? Okay, guys. The only lab open is the one you use a new player. Yes. The labyrinths, yes, is the only one. But I mean, putting mushrooms there that you will use like, 40 hours of gameplay later, I don't think is a good idea. And also people cannot go back there, so. Okay. See you, boys. Bye-bye. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, we will do something. I don't know what, but we will do something. Bye. Meanwhile, if you want to click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, they are both free and you can do it. And also remember that our game is released, right? If you're wondering, oh, can I try the game? Yeah, you can. You can go to our website, click on download now, and you can play it for Windows, for Linux, and even for Mac. Even for Mac. How many role-playing games do you have on Mac? Huh? I think it's only one, our game. So do Just do it. Bye. See you. Have a good night. Bye bye. And thank you for the help, Razildren. Thank you. Menita quest and Menita quest I have to redo. That's another Menita quest is another thing that I have to focus one day.